Welcome. I am so happy to be back. I'm beginning my 9th State of the City address, my 3rd term in office, and I am really more excited tonight than I was 8 years ago, if you can believe that. So many great things are going on. Last year, remember, I brought a word back to life called mojo. And how many of you were here last year? I hope so, because I'm repeating a lot of things. I want you to remember. Mojo was when I talked about how a city has to dig deep and identify things that are unique, interesting, or quirky about themselves. Because in this competitive market, and believe me, cities are competitive, being unique is what sells. So for Duluth, we've identified things such as we're a railroad city. We have the Eastern Continental Divide going right through the middle of our really cool downtown. We have a flirty chicken that's going around threatening to blow up buildings. And we even have a cow tunnel. Remember us talking about that last year that goes under Peachtree Industrial Boulevard? So in order for us to really be Duluth, we have to recognize who we are, identify it, and be proud of it. That's what being Duluth is. It's about being local, being a localist, shopping local, consuming local, using local services, dining local. Everything you do needs to be focused on being local. That is being Duluth. The word be is a very powerful word. Listen to this quote. To be or not to be? That is the question. That is not my quote. You know that, right? That's Shakespeare. All right, that word be in there. Listen to this quote. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's not mine either. That's Gandhi. But listen to that word be, how powerful that is. And that's exactly how powerful that word is in the word when I say be Duluth. You can be a part of what's happening here. We are all as unique as our fingerprints. And living inside the city limits, we have a wide variety of generations living here. We have the Great Depression babies, which is a terrible name for a generation, all the way up to Gen Zs. We've got a wide variety, and trends are really changing with the generations. So for us to make sure that Duluth is the place that you want to be, for us to make sure that Duluth is giving you what you need, a place that you can have your cultural needs met, a place that you can feel like you're part of a community, or a place that you can raise your family. That is how important Be Duluth is to us. Now, what I want to talk about for the next few minutes is some of the accomplishments that we've had during 2015 and how it leads over into 2016 and 2017. Now, I am really proud of the street I live on. I live on Old Town Parkway. It's a beautiful street. It has a nice entrance. We have a great HOA. I'm looking at the couple of our officers now. They're strict and they're fair. And it makes me proud of my neighborhood. I'm really lucky that I'm in a neighborhood with an HOA. But last April, I received an email from Melissa Henry, and I want you to listen. I'm just going to read you parts of it. Good afternoon, Mayor Harris. My name is Melissa Henry. I'm a 23-year-old dental assistant. We still, she'd already written once, do not have a Regency Park sign since the DOT destroyed it when they were reconstructing Pleasant Hill Road. It would be very nice to have one. It would make my neighborhood more prestigious, presentable, and official. My second concern is Homeowners Associations. We don't have one. More specifically, it was dismantled during that construction. While there are fellow neighbors that care for their gardens, there are other neighbors that do absolutely nothing regards to their property. It's such a shame seeing the state of my neighborhood now and how it's changed over the past 15 years. Well, I could go on, and this is sad. This made me feel horrible. It made me feel uncomfortable that just 5 miles down the road, someone was not proud of her neighborhood. So immediately, the city staff went out there, and we were so surprised. The first meeting there, we had about 30 neighbors came and gathered around the mailboxes. And that's when action started taking place. And it's still working. They're still working hard on that. But what I want to emphasize right now is the importance of HOAs. As a city, our only really tool that we have are code compliance. And we only have one code compliance officer. We can go in and cite your neighborhood for different ordinances that they're breaking, but really it's up to your street and your neighborhood to make sure that your neighborhood stays safe and a place that you're proud of. We have 39 registered HOAs in the city of Duluth, and every year I send out a letter and I only hear back from about 8 or 9. So I really want to encourage you and encourage me and encourage our city staff to help HOAs become stronger. I really think it's going to make a significant difference in stabilizing our neighborhoods. Stabilization is a year-long job, and one of the main departments that is so involved in this is the Public Works Department. Audrey Turner, I know you're here somewhere, I saw you. What a great department. I know you've seen Public Works. They're all over the city doing everything. But I want to point out to you the importance of paving our streets. I know that you love it when your street is paved. You call and tell us how much you love it. You do not like it when we come in and put those stripes to fill the cracks. But that costs a lot more to pave the street. We are responsible for 69 miles of streets here in the city limits. So every summer the Public Works Department works with a paving company, this year it was Stewart's, to pave. And this past year, the past summer, they paved 9 miles of street and repaired 400 sidewalk repairs. So street maintenance is a major component of making your neighborhood look nice, don't you agree? Another important neighborhood stabilization tool is stormwater. And I know you think this is really boring to talk about stormwater. I never thought I would be talking about stormwater. But I know how important it is now. And I know that if I'm stuck behind a sinkhole and I can't get somewhere, it's the problem. And that's the problem for you too. We started stormwater fees a few years ago, and I pay $36. I think that's what the annual household pays. And I'm really proud that I give that. I haven't had a sinkhole on my street yet, but I'm really happy that my $36 is going in towards making your neighborhood more stable. We also started in 2014 street sweeping. And we spent about $25,000 last year on that. And the importance of that is to keep that debris out of the infrastructure so everything will last longer. You could really help us in that too, to remind your neighbors not to blow that debris down those stormwater drains. Stormwater is expensive. We spent about $200,000 last year on stormwater projects. This is not going away. Our pipes are really old. Some of our pipes in Duluth are 40 and 50 years old. So we want to be ahead of those. We have a priority list, and we prioritize our stormwater projects. A very important neighborhood stabilization tool. And also, our police certainly make our neighborhood stabilized. Come on down. I want to show you, you'd like to know now that every police officer in Duluth now has a body camera. So that's what this is. It's not only for our protection, but for their protection, because we do value you so much. Thank you. We all know what a low crime rate we have in Duluth. We were once again ranked number 6 by Movato for being one of the safest cities in Georgia. And our crime rate has gone down in auto thefts and auto crimes, and house break-ins for 2015 were about the same, about 60 for the past 2 years, house break-ins. So our crime rate is low. So once again, another great example of wonderful staff. Public Works, the planning department with the stormwater staff, our public safety department, they are absolutely one of the reasons that you're happy living here. They give us great services. I also want to mention our court services. Charles Barrett, Judge Barrett, where are you? I know I saw you here. There you are. We have a wonderful court service. They run a teen court, and I'm proud to say now they are a paperless courtroom. So thank you very much, Judge Barrett, for your leadership. Thank you. So I want you to be proud of where you live. And the way you can prove that to me is when you go on vacation, if someone comes up to you and says, "Where are you from?" what are you going to say?
Duluth.
Yay! I want you to be proud. I want you to say Duluth, Georgia, Winnett County, and not Atlanta. When I asked the council members to give me feedback on what they wanted me to say tonight, I got a great quote from you, Billy. You don't even know I'm going to say this. Billy said, "Many of our challenges are due to our successes, and we know we need more housing." Right now, the residential mix that we have going on, we have 639 units in progress right now. That's 134 single-family attached, 174 single-family detached, and 331 urban-style apartments, which is in the Sugarloaf market that's going up now. You can also see these projects are listed on the board for you or on the screen. If you can't read those, they are in your annual report. We are keeping in mind that citizens are looking for places to live that are very walkable. Now, it's going to be impossible for us out here in the suburban metro area to all be able to walk to work. That would be wonderful. But what we do want to make your area urban enough that you can walk to restaurants, you can walk to retail, you can walk to a small park. We want to keep these walkable neighborhoods going. So these are the 5 that we have going on right now.
The City of Duluth does not own Proctor Square Shopping Center. It is privately owned and is currently under a period of due diligence to determine its future use. The City of Duluth is unable to blow up Proctor Square, as so many of our citizens have suggested. Please do not take this hideous structure eyesore problem into your own hands. We do not have permission to demolish Proctor Square. I repeat, the City of Duluth does not own Proctor Square Shopping Center.
What a look. Well, the good news is we may not have to blow it up. The residential group, are you represented here tonight? I know you were thinking about coming. The residential group is actually looking at this area of Proctor Square. This is what it looks like from overhead. This will come up for a vote on February the 8th. And if this does pass, this will be a real game changer on Highway 23. You can see how it's going to change that intersection. It's going to be a real dynamic difference. It is apartments with retail on the front. And you can see the details of this. All of these things that I'm talking tonight will be available for you out in the lobby. So, we're excited about this. We are really looking at it closely because it is apartments. We want to make sure that we make a good, sustainable decision. But it would be great to add this density to downtown. So we'll see how that goes on February the 8th if you want to follow that. Metro Atlanta ranks #1, and we are Metro Atlanta, in the United States for being the lowest cost place to do business. That's out of 31 metro large cities. Atlanta's #1, so that means we're #1. Right here in Duluth, we have manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, professional services, corporate services, informational technology, and a wonderful hospital. And because of that, we are in the position to attract really high-paying jobs, and we are starting to do that. It's really interesting to know, and this is, you're going to like this, you educators. We can boast here in Duluth that 44% of us have a college degree or higher. That's compared to 34% for the county and 29% for Atlanta. So we are high in that area, and that's a real catch for a lot of companies. They really are looking for a talented market that's here to stay. We also have approximately 60 higher institutions of learning around us, so that again gives us proximity to a lot of higher education. We are, 80% of the United States is just 2 hours away from Duluth. And already we have over 100 international companies that are located here in Duluth representing 25 different countries. So my message is to you kids that are in high school, I hope that you'll plan on getting those degrees and coming back here to live. Now, you all know what an excellent school system we have. Peachtree Ridge High School and Duluth High School both continue to rank in the high list for the U.S. World News Report. And I know Anthony Smith is here tonight. Where are you? And I would like to, at this time, introduce the 6 students that are part of the Student Lead Program. So I'm going to call your names if you'll just raise your hand. We have Sook, Jesus, Hannah, Kaylor, Justin, and Sal. Thank you for being here. These guys were chosen to participate in the Student Lead Program, and we were off to a great start, and we're about to finish up our first year, so thank you for being here tonight. I'm very proud of you. Mr. Smith, thank you for great high school you're running over there. We appreciate you very much. We also have a large millennial population, which is just the age where a lot of companies are hiring. We have about 17% of our population is millennials compared to Winnett's 14%. I would really like to see that be a little higher, and that's the reason we're doing some of the things that we're doing is to bring more millennials here. So, but that's a good thing. That's something that companies look for. I want to tell you about 2 economic incentives that the city's taken advantage of. We're the only city in Winnett that has 2 active tax allocation districts. And I'm not going to try to explain that to you tonight, but what that does, it puts money, it holds some of your taxes and puts it back into making the area better. We're just the only city in Winnett implementing 2 of those. And that's good. That takes work. That takes paperwork. That's our city staff doing these things. We also received the coveted designation of being an opportunity zone. Now, in a way, I guess this isn't a compliment. What an opportunity zone does, it identifies an area that is blighted and needs help. And our downtown area was considered to be blighted. So what we're doing now is making it better. We're bringing jobs to the downtown area. So we're really happy that we're using those incentives that are given to us by the state. The Opportunity Zone is a very coveted award. I don't know of anybody that receives those anymore. Do you, Brooks? We received that from the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. So congratulations to us for that. We also have 2 retail projects in the work now that will certainly bring more jobs here. One, as you've all have seen, is on Peachtree Industrial at Sugarloaf, the Sugarloaf Market. Some of the things that are going to be in there are Freddy's. Somebody texted me about that. Racetrack, Chipotle, which you've already heard, Sprouts, Panda Express, Waffle House, and that's where the 331 apartments are located, is in that development. So you can see how that's going to be a walkable development, that he's going to have parks in there with some public art. So that's a small village right there. We also have the retail project going on in downtown called The Block. Sure you know where that is. You can see Dreamland coming right up in the middle of it. Tim, wherever you are. He's here. Oh, you are. That's going to be an exciting project. I don't know what all's going into it, but I know that Gene Rice and Jerry Miller are developers and operate Parsons LLC. They could probably tell us afterwards some of the things that are going to be in that block, but thank you. That's going to be an exciting project. You know, we talked about it this time last year, and here it's happening. It's exciting. You know, and I don't want to leave this area of being employed without mentioning the stable businesses that we have in Duluth. We have quite a few businesses that have been here for many, many years. Woody's, I hate to name them, I'm sure I'll leave out some. The bank, Winnett Community Bank. The clock shop was in the paper over the weekend. He's been here 23 years. Howard Brothers, Agco, Publix, Kroger. I could go on and on. These buildings that have been here for years, they're really, really important to us. We appreciate so much the stability that they give us. River Green, you know that area off Peachtree Industrial? It is refreshing itself. There are businesses going in there. There are international businesses. A lot of employment available over there. And over there on North Berkeley Lake Road, our industrial area, there's a big, huge warehouse going up there. So we've got a lot going on here. We're really excited and a great opportunity for a lot of jobs in the future. I want to, at this time, to recognize Sharon and Bernard Robertson. I see them over here. This is their sign on the right. They were they're still part of a PIB5, a group that looks at Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, and they were very involved in changing our sign ordinances, which you've probably seen some really cool signs coming up around Duluth, so thank you, Robertson, for that. Let's see, I know I want to recognize staff. I always have to pause. I want to, at this time, recognize our city manager, James Riker, our city clerk, Teresa Lynn, and our finance officer, Ken Sackmar. You know, I know you're wondering about, we're spending a lot of money now, are we okay? These guys are so strict and so frugal, and they make sure that we are forecasting and looking ahead, so we have a great staff, and they're really keeping us in line. So they tell us when it's okay to do these things. So thank you very much to our city staff. I'd like to give you a hand. So the next part I want to talk about is being mobile. And we have quite a few transportation projects going on. I'm sure you are feeling the pain of some of those. I heard that. These are big, big projects, and they are full of unexpected surprises. We have to do easements. We have to get right-of-ways. We have to have environmentals. We have some really unexpected things, such as the Indiana long-eared bat. Seriously, one of our road projects was held up for months because this project is going to make this bat extinct. Seriously. So those unexpected surprises slow things up. So when I give you a timeline, don't hold me to it. They change. All right, I'm going to go through these real quickly just to give you an idea. And I like for you to be able to leave these State of the Cities kind of saying what you've learned. Okay, the first project is at Hill Street and 120. Now I'm going to start you at Buford Highway, Highway 23. Start there with me. Okay, that's 120. It's going to go over the railroad track, and it's going to have a signal there. Whether you think that's a good idea or not, it's going to have one. It's a DOT project. That's a very confusing intersection. And when I became mayor, one of the police told me just to roll down my window at the intersection and direct traffic with my hand. So that's what I do there. But that's a dangerous intersection. It's going to curve around the corner, and then new sidewalks are coming in, and it's going to go right by the new Brooks P. Coleman Middle School. Stand up, Brooks. Brooks is our state representative, and if anybody is Duluth, it is Brooks Coleman. He is Duluth. We are so excited that that school is named after you, Brooks.
Thank everybody for what they did with the letters there.
Yeah, I think we all had a part of that, but you earned it. And then the principal there is going to be a guy that was educated here in Duluth locally, J.W. Mosley back there. Thank you, J.W. So the completion date for this says September 2016. They want to be through by the time school starts. The rain has not been our friend. Okay, Highway 23 medians. We do not have a completion date on this. We're responsible for getting the right-of-ways. We will be through with our part of this by the middle of the summer, but we do not have a completion date or a release date at all from DOT, Department of Transportation, right? DOT. All right, next, George Rogers Avenue. The tannery has been demolished. It is gone. The construction for this avenue will begin this next month, February 2016, and should be finished in 1 year. Davenport Road at Highway 23 is on hold. We're going to coordinate with the developer that is selected to do the residential project that will line up with Davenport Road. It's a good chance that that will be on the next splosh list. Highway 120 has a second project that's going on. This is a collaborative project with the county. We're actually putting in sidewalks from Highway 23 all the way down to Claiborne Drive to B.B. Harris. So that'll be great. I wish I'd had those the day I had to chase a little boy down the street. But that's a great project. That's a partnership with the county, again, splosh money. Western Winnett Bikeway is still going on. We're partnering with that with the county. I think right now they've started at Swanee and they're coming this way. The goal will be that we'll be able to ride our bikes all the way up to McGinnis Ferry. We are trying to do a landscaping project at Pleasant Hill Road and Highway 23 interchange. Know where I'm talking about? That interchange is 10 years old. That's hard to believe to me. It is very unattractive, and the signage is very useless, confusing. So what we want to do is go in and bring that area up. It's not really our responsibility as a city, but we have gotten permission. We've got some money set aside, so we're going to start doing a simple landscaping project there. And I have down that that'll be completed a year from this April. So that should be getting started soon. Main Street has 2 phases. Phase 1's already complete. That was widening our sidewalks and changing the parking pattern. We were trying to make it a more walkable downtown for events and buskers and food trucks. I know you guys love that. Phase 2 is in process now. Phase 2 is adding 37 parking spaces in front of Brooks P. Coleman Middle School. So that's Phase 2, and that's going on now. And not up there, but something that we're sentimental about is Rogers Bridge. And thanks to our Parks and Rec Department and under their leadership of Kathy Morelli, they applied for a matching grant with the Atlanta Regional Commission, and we received $400,000 to study the engineering of this bridge. That's a big accomplishment. Now, this bridge does go into Fulton County, so we have an intergovernmental agreement with Fulton County, Johns Creek, and Gwinnett County to get this project done. Date for completion? Well, I'll tell you, that is me on the bridge with the short hair. I think I'm 16 or 17. JW, that's your mom beside me and your uncle on the end. So the completion date is, I hope that it's completed so I can walk across it like this one day. That's all. We really don't know about that, but that's the big project and we're excited about it. So talking about being nostalgic, let's look at our downtown for just a few minutes. We've learned as a council the importance of a downtown. And when you have a strong and vibrant downtown, that's an economic catalyst for the whole city. We know without a doubt that developers are looking at us and coming to us and talking to us about projects because we are investing in ourselves. We are adding a higher quality of life to our downtown. This is a great example of craft planning and designing at its best. We are really saying what we want the block to look like. And we are so fortunate to work with you, Jerry, to have a partner that listens and sees the vision and works with us on that. I want to take just a minute to thank all these businesses that have hung in there through all of this. I can't name all your names because I would forget someone, but thank you so much. I know that it's hard to be downtown right now, and right now it's probably even harder. We are hearing a little bit of that, but thank you so much because I feel like in this time next year we're going to really be seeing a vibrant downtown. If you look on the map, you can see Block A represents the block. B are the 2 places that we're hoping to get residential development. We're talking to Pulte about that now. And then C is where the new downtown library will be located. We do not have a date on that either at the time. I want to take a minute to thank the Fall Festival. I've got 2 really big thank yous to them. First First of all, the block has Parsons Alley, which is a historic block, and the Fall Festival gave us $250,000 to add amenities to that block. We're going to be adding lighting, a beautiful flooring and walkway, benches, some private funded art. It's just going to be a great gathering place. We're going to have 2 beautiful archway signs that say Parsons Alley. So thank you. I know there's a lot of people in here that work the Fall Festival. Thank you. And then if you look at the sign up here on the right, the new red clay sign, how many of you have seen that? It's really cool, I think. We've really been saving up our pennies to get something that was very nostalgic. And it was actually the Fall Festivals that gave us those pennies. They gave us $60,000 additional dollars to put 2 signs on red clay. We only have 1 up right now. There will be more going up on the front. So again, to the Fall Festival, thank you so much. Duluthians are busier than ever. We had over 40 city events last year. We're going to have that many or more this year. We have doubled our social media following. We have a newly designed Duluth Life magazine that's going to be even looking at some more changes. We have a dashboard on our website now that you can keep up with all the projects that I've talked about tonight and follow the timelines. So hats off to our marketing department. They've done a great job of making sure that our events are generational. They appeal to a lot of different ages. I also want to celebrate the Duluth Public Art Commission. And Gigi Getz was our first president, and they have just finished up 2 years. I know there's some Art Commission members in the audience. Raise your hands. Thank you. They've worked hard. The Duluth Public Art Commission is going to make sure that we have quality art that comes into the city. They're going to look over that and make sure that it's something that citizens will be happy with. Because of their hard work, we have a public art master plan now, which was completed last spring, and we're the only city around for quite a while now. There are a few that are getting them, that are actually planning where art is going to be in the city. So thank you to our DPAC committee. The Duluth Fine Art League also, I know there's some members here from the Art League, quite a few. We work really hard too with the city. We are a nonprofit organization, so we keep our money separate from the city, but we do work with the city to bring events like the Art Walks. We're responsible for those. Those are a lot of fun. And we're also working on a new piece of public art called the Dream Keepers that I'll be showing you a photo of in just a few minutes. So thank you to the Fine Art League for what you do. We all realize that bringing art to the area is attractive for visitors, and we all enjoy it as well. So we want to keep doing that. We also want you to be healthy by going to our parks. And we have 6 city parks. We're only one of 3 cities in Winnett that have their own city parks. Bunton Park is going through some great renovations over the past few years. If you haven't been over there, state-of-the-art playground, stadium seating. We have programs and classes over there. It's a wonderful park. And then we're also evolving Rogers Bridge into a great destination with our dog park and our canoe launch. Rogers Bridge could be so much more. We are so lucky to have a city park on the Chattahoochee River. So our Parks and Recs Board, and I don't know if any of you are here tonight, I want to thank you for launching a new study. We're going to look at our parks. We had a 10-year study. It is now 10 years old, so we're going to look again. What can we do to make Rogers Bridge Park a premier park here in Duluth, so it will be a destination? So you can be busy in Duluth. We are in close proximity of a lot of great things, lakes, mountains, the Atlanta Airport, the Infinite Energy Center, the Hudgens Fine Arts Center, and have our new director back there, Ife Williams. There are a lot of things right at our fingertips. This is a great place to live, so it's easy to be busy here in this city. International dining, we have an array of international dining. I can't even name all the countries that are represented. But up here you see one of my favorite international dining places is Kurt's. Great German restaurant. We also have Asian, Latino, Indian. We have so many options there, so you can be busy here. in Duluth. So I've talked about a lot of our accomplishments. And again, you can see all the renderings out in the lobby because it's hard to go into detail. What I want to talk to you about for just a few minutes now is our vision. And you know, it's fun to have a vision. It's aspirational. It makes you dream. It makes me excited to come to work and to plan for something new. So I've listened to you, and I've listened to our council members, and I want to present some visionary ideas that are not necessarily mine. I hope they're a combination of all of yours. We have not voted or approved any of these. These are just visions, things to just think about. Now I'm going to talk to you about 3 categories of visioning. One is being connected. You know, I talked at the very beginning of the speech about neighborhood stabilization. So I want to go back and look at our older neighborhoods and look at how we can connect them with newer, better streets, sidewalks, and connect them to downtown Duluth. I'll show you an example in just a few minutes. And then being healthy. The Winnett Medical Center has purchased Ingalls Shopping Center. And they've had that for a few years. We want to be a part of that. We want to help them expand that entire medical area. We have incredible medical services here in Duluth now. You can really just about get anything you want. We have a park across the street from the hospital. Our park should be working and should be a part of the being healthy vision for the hospital. So that's being healthy. And then, of course, I hope we finish Rogers Bridge Road Park. And then being a destination. I want us to be a destination because we have plenty of jobs. I want us to be a destination because we have lots of housing options. I want us to be a destination for the arts. And one of the projects that the Art League is working on is the Dream Keepers. We're working on bringing this into a full life-size bronze for the town green that you'll be able to walk through. I want us to be a place that people want to come and want to be. I hope that our downtown block and the entire downtown will be 10-10-10. I think I've said that for 5 years. I think we're finally getting there. 10 restaurants, 10 places to shop, 10 things to do after dark. So that's our goal for downtown. Okay, let's take a look at the map. Okay, and I don't think Chris, if you can point if you want to. I want you to think about this vision. Hardy Street is the road that runs behind where the new library is going to be, behind the cemetery. Okay, with me? Okay, Main Street runs right into Hardy Street. Are you showing them that, Chris? Okay. So I would like for Main Street to continue all the way over to Peachtree Industrial Boulevard. And we're in the process of doing that now. Once you cross over Rogers Bridge Road, the name of that street is Chattahoochee Drive. So we're in the process of changing the name to Main Street. And it hasn't been difficult because there aren't very many businesses back there, so everybody's been very receptive to the idea. If you're on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard and you're headed through Duluth and you see a road that says Main Street, I think you're going to be more likely to take a right or left and go into a historic downtown. If it says Main Street, I think we can start advertising that there. All right, not only do I want it to be called Main Street, but what if we could put in a multi-purpose path on this new Main Street? That would connect the bike path, the Western Winnett Bikeway path on PIB. You could be biking down PIB, turn on Main Street and bike right into downtown Duluth. We don't have a lot of bike paths in Duluth. It's hard to bring bike path into an old city that already has its streets set. So that would be a way to get some more bikers and walkers in. Also, all those people that are living in the apartment in the Sugarloaf Market would have access to a walk or a bike path to get right downtown. Again, adding the density that we really need downtown. Now, if you're coming down Main Street, can you point North and South Street? Okay. All right. Am I confusing you? All right, I'm glad you're all Duluthian. Hill Street, you know where Hill Street is. I know Catherine's going through all that mess at Hill Street. All right, Hill Street is being improved, And now when it goes behind the campus, it will be a two-way street again. Well, imagine us continuing Hill Street all the way over to South Street, then over to North Street. Can you visualize that? If we were to go in and make that a beautiful Hill Street all the way through there, put some sidewalks in, put some street lights in, I really think that those houses would take pride in their neighborhood and we would start seeing some things changing. Then all those would be connected to downtown Duluth. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about let's be more connected. And then the last vision is I really want the Eastern Continental Divide to be famous. I've been working on that for years, Brooks. I want people to be excited that we have the Eastern Continental Divide. It's a phenomenon. There are only 6 in the United States, and one runs right through the middle of our city. So I want us to be famous for the Eastern Continental Divide, and then I hope that somebody will return Dee Dee in the future. All right, now for the best part of the evening. All the dull stuff is over. We're going to celebrate some locals, and here they are.